Hello, my friends. My name is Raymond Giovanni. I wanted to make a video about the situation in Palestine and Israel, Middle East. I know that's very polarizing subject. You know, people, it's very passionate and rightfully so. This is what happens. The problem, this is a very old problem. According to the biblical so-called history, a lot of it was passed down by oral tradition and stuff like that. But according to the story in the Bible, it says that Abraham had his first son with his maid because Sarah, his wife, could not bear children because she was too old. Now, Sarah told him, go ahead and you know, go ahead and sleep with the maid and have children with her because I can't give you kids. So he went and did that. Now he had Ishmael with the maid. But then Sarah got pregnant at 90. You know how it goes with the legends and stuff like that, and had Isaac. Now that's where the problem starts, because there's a fight, there's animosity between the two children because of the patriarchal society that said that whoever the father blessed was going to be the heir to the family. Now, Ishmael was kicked out. Sarah got jealous, and now I'm quoting this stuff from the mythology or whatever, stories or legends of the Bible. But Sarah got jealous and pissed and told Abraham to basically kick out the maid, which was Ishmael's mother. And although Ishmael had been born the firstborn, he was not being recognized because he had not been born out of a legitimate wife. Never mind that the wife herself was the one who told him to have children with her, but then had her child of her own and kicked the kid out. So they kicked him out to the desert. Basically, Abraham kicked him out to the desert, and that's where the Arabs came from. Now I don't care who it is, but I'm not kicking any son of mine to no desert. That's a real problem right there with the story. I mean, a lack of integrity in Abraham's part, and just the fact that there's then this Isaac is where the Jewish people came from. They're brothers. These people are brothers and cousins. So, and they're still killing each other for legitimacy of the right to territory, to a right to be the chosen people of God, the right to, all this garbage. It comes down to classism. It comes down to classism, classes of people, classifying people as legitimate or non-legitimate. And that's one of the things that I've been fighting against for a long time, to end the scorn of classism on earth. Now, you fast forward. I have to read more on the history of the problem. Now, mind you, this whole garbage about, this God that shows up to Abraham and asks him to murder Isaac to prove his loyalty to God. I don't care who it is, any God, the devil, the president, a tyrant. You ask me to kill my son to prove loyalty to you, I'm going to try to kill you. I don't have to prove loyalty to any God that asks me to kill one of my children. and make me suffer like that, we're going to have a problem. I'm going to try to kill that guy. I'm going to find a way to kill the God. We're going to find out if he's really a God or not. Really fast. Really fast. So there's a problem right there. I have a problem with that whole, submission to genocidal, abusive, narcissistic God that needs his ego stroked by making people suffer like that and put them to psychological distress. So anyways, so here comes this religion again, destroying humanity. And now here comes Israel. Fast forward to today, and people say, oh, the people in Hamas and Hezbollah are out there blowing themselves up and throwing rockets into populated areas of Israel. What they don't tell you is that first of all, I don't support suicide bombings of innocent people. If you got a beef with a country, you go after their military. That's what they're there for, to fight. Not that I support war. I think war is stupid. War has always been a failure of powerful people and to reach agreements, and it's always been fought by the poor to protect the rich, and that hasn't changed. Never has, never will, unless we stop it, and we stop volunteering and glorifying war. There is no glory in killing each other. Now, the other side of that is, if you come and hurt my family and hurt my children, you kill my mother, you come in a targeted assassination like Israel does every day, and the United States is doing it right now as we speak. President Obama, whom I voted for, it's a puppet, like all the presidents of this country after Eisenhower, of the industrial military complex. Now we have probably, I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 drones over the earth. A lot of them armed with Hellfire missiles, and they shoot without trial, without evidence, without nothing. They shoot and kill and assassinate people. Some of them United States citizens who happen to have gone, Muslim or whatever they've gone. Here we go again with religion. And to use it as a tool for war. Not that religion is not a tool of war itself. Intrinsically, it is. All religions that I've known, they've always called for war and assassination of people who don't believe in that religion's creed. But now we have our own government shoving Hellfire missiles up people's ass and killing people around them, innocent people, women and children. And those people, the family members of those women and children who get killed, what would you do? You have somebody with a plane in the sky shoots a rocket from Russia, let's say, India, I don't care what country it is, and it kills your husband, who happens to be a radical, okay, but it also kills your son, your wife, and your mother, and your brother. What are you going to do? Are you going to call the police? No. You're going to grab a gun, you're going to find whoever did this shit, and you're going to, try to kill as many of them as you can. Now, is that right? No, but in the fog of your anger and your anguish, if you take everything from somebody, what do you leave them with? You leave them with revenge. That's all they have to live for. And we are manufacturing more and more terrorists by us supporting the terrorism of war, of the United States war, the terrorism of drone strikes against civilians, casualties, and all that stuff. Well, the same shit Israel is doing, and I'm going to go out and say that the reason it is perpetuating the the military industry. And I think they're behind it. I think they want war to continue so they can keep producing armament and selling armament. It's big business. The business of killing people with armament, with weapons, is huge. And the United States is the biggest exporter of armament in this globe, and on this country, on this earth. So now, we'll go back to Israel. People say, "Oh, but they're launching rockets." Israel has basically taken all of Palestine and left the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip on the southwestern corner facing the Sinai Peninsula with this little strip called Gaza. It's 350 kilometers square with 1.65 million people living there. And they live in a concentration camp in a blockade by the Jewish people. They're doing the same thing the Nazis did to them. They're keeping a 1.65 million population of humans, women, children, in abject poverty. They barely let medication in. They barely let food in. They have a blockade of the sea, air, and land. They have enclosed. They basically made a huge ghetto of 350 square miles. Now, when they get pissed and they get tired of being assassinated, here comes Israel and assassinates people. They put rockets on top of houses or wherever they can, and they launch rockets at Israel. Now, what happens to those rockets? They get taken down by a system called Iron Dome. It's basically a Patriot missile defense system that we give Israel, the United States, our U.S. taxpayers. Okay, and we give Israel $7 million a day. Okay, to finance this shit. Now, when Israel fires back at these people, now the casualties are basically almost zero. People dead, maybe somebody hurt in Israel. But when Israel strikes back, it's hundreds of people, mainly children, babies, and stuff to get hurt. And people say, well, they put in the rockets on top of children's houses. They got to put the rockets somewhere, the closest they can. Now Israel says, well, they got to evacuate the people, so that we can bomb. Evacuate so they can bomb. Imagine you live in abject poverty. You have nowhere to go. And people, here comes the Israelis with tanks and kill your babies. What are you going to do? They're leaving them no choice. The United Nations has designated, I think it's about like 5 million Palestinians are designated refugees. They're refugees from the genocide that Israel has given to them. And they say, okay, well, Hamas is part of, is financed by Iran and Russia and whatever, so they're all bad. I'm sure there's a bunch of bad motherfuckers on each side. But what if you're fighting somebody, are you going to say, you're going to say, I cannot accept the money to go buy guns to fight back because you're a bad person or you're a communist or you're a terrorist. I don't care where the money comes from. I'm going to get me a gun and I'm going to fire back. So we're forcing us, by financing this, we're forcing the Palestinians to fight back dirty, just like the only way they can. How else can you fight? In love and war, there are no rules. You're going to do what you have to do to preserve your people from being annihilated. So what is the solution? For Israel to stop land grabbing and stealing whatever little Palestinian country is left. Leave them alone, get the settlers out, and stop doing exactly what the Nazis did to them. But since all this right-wing extremist American evangelical Christian people want to support Israel, no matter how many people and babies they kill, will continue to do that. Not that Israel has never been a genocidal. If you read the Bible, that their imaginary God Jehovah has been ordering the massacring of children for thousands of years. So this is not new, and it is religious and it is disgusting and it needs to stop.